Testing, hot outbound call, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear?
Are you ready?
Make the approach. Plant your feet firmly in the ground. Head down. Eyes on the ball. Relax. That's it. Get your left arm straight. Your right arm straight. Relax. Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Merrill Lynch, Pierce Venners, Ziggies. Merrill Lynch, Pierce Venner, and Ziggies out there. You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
Forgive you. It was all my fault, darling one. I should never have talked the way I did, sweetheart. I never should have listened to Ralph. Tough getting through that one.
Yeah. Well, same with me. I did just as good with Pierce Venner and Ziggy. The only discussion-based podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Brooklyn, New York. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. If you don't listen podcast-wise, you go to our home base, which is the website non-productive.com/honeymooners, and you can go right there and listen to them right on your computer.
That's right.
And don't forget to like our Honeymooners podcast Facebook page, and we also have our Twitter account. And if you want to leave a voicemail, call 240-442-2635, and don't forget to email us at
bangzoom1956@gmail.com.
Nice. What's going on, Lou?
Joe, number 64.
64 today.
Got a good 64. I don't know if you remember
What
him. Jerry Kramer, Hall of Famer, Green Bay Packer. He wrote the book Instant Replay, which started all this book stuff in 1967.
Really?
Now, he's famous, if you ever the picture, in the famous Ice Bowl game.
Oh, okay.
That was him who led the block that put Bart Starr in the end zone, that the Packers beat the Cowboys in the Ice Bowl, where the wind chill got down to -12.
Was it -12? And
At
it felt
Lambeau
like like a -50 or something like that?
It was with the wind chill, -12 to 14 degrees.
Wow. For some reason, I'm thinking if he was on the Vikings, but I think
No.
that's a quarterback,
No.
I think, named Jerry Kramer or another Kramer.
So you're taking the Seinfeld. But anyway, Jerry Kramer.
Jerry Kramer, 64,
Yep.
offensive lineman.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl,
Yep.
well, I guess championship winner, right?
Well, that was the NFL, and it would have been the second go into the second Super Bowl, Super Bowl II, which was called at the time the World Champion.
Oh, okay.
World Championships.
And then after the third one with the Jets, I think
they
that's when
started
calling it
the Super Bowl.
Super. Yes, Super Bowl.
Well, Jets are in it. It's got to be super.
Of course. And that's the last one that they were in. But anyway, not talking about my misery, everybody.
And then Rome burned.
Yes. So who can we, first of all, we have to thank and mention our sponsor, Silk City Hot Sauce.
Yeah.
SilkCityHotSauce.com. Get yourself some great homemade, pal. It can't hurt you.
Can't hurt you.
Yep, homemade sauces.
On a very strict diet.
Yes, a very, very strict diet. And go to SilkCityHotSauce.com. And when you purchase your hot sauces, at the end, I'm trying to take my mask off of my ears.
Off, yeah.
When you go and you purchase it, in there's a coupon code when you're about to purchase it, and you put RX and get yourself 15% off of your order and get yourself a free bottle of cherry sriracha.
That's right.
And I forgot. I always call mine the Chipotle.
Yeah.
But the other one I have, which I like, is the Taco Fiesta.
Oh, you like Taco Fiesta?
Because it's a little hot, but not too bad.
Okay.
And you, of course, love
Badass Jew.
the Badass Jew.
Oh, God,
of course.
Yeah, my Bloody Miriams.
Bloody Miriams. Somebody did that the other day. They did the joke on Facebook. Yeah, they did
Oh,
Bloody Miriam.
How dare they? Well, at least they're listening to the podcast.
No, they did it on our page.
Oh, on our page?
Yeah, they
Oh,
were making a reference to your
see.
great joke. Yeah,
If I knew how to follow it, I'd...
Oh, you're the worst. You really are the worst. nothing. He's like, I ordered hashtags, but I got it with my eggs, but I didn't know what it was. I'm like, no, that's something else, Lou. But anyway. All right, we got a fun show for you today. This is going to be a lot about locations. I'll just tell you that right now, okay? But we want to start off first of all. We did last week.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to mention something.
Yes, we were talking about what shows you might have liked that have changed in your favorite. Maybe they were in your top at one point, but now they're not, or the opposite.
Right. And I don't know if we can get a great response, but you could try it again.
Right.
If you skipped last week.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I just wanted to mention something
Yes.
before we go into everything. You said something about you're in your second season.
Oh yes, I've been binging Cheers, and I'm hitting my second season of Cheers.
How many seasons?
Oh, I think it's like it was 82. I think to 93.
Ooh,
so
man.
I guess it's like 11 years, 10, 11 years.
The car 54 is easier. It's only 2 seasons. But I just want to say, go back to last week. What we said last week. Remember in your observation, we did the Norton, the antique appraiser, and all that stuff.
Correct.
And you had said that when Norton invited them to the antique show,
right?
And you said that Norton was reciprocating because the previous year they invited Ralph and Alice. No, Ralph invited Ed and Trixie to the World Series game.
Correct.
And you said that not really an even trade-off.
Not really an even trade-off. Yeah, you get to go to see one of 7 games, the biggest baseball game of the year, and then they get to go to an antique show.
Okay,
right.
So this is what I just want to say. That year would have been 1955 World Series. Brooklyn and the Yankees. Like what else?
Oh, wow.
It was the only time the Brooklyn Dodgers won
when they
World Series.
When they beat them, that was the only time they beat the Yankees.
The only time the Dodgers ever won in Brooklyn.
Right.
They won because next year they moved. In 57, I believe, was the last year. And so that was the last championship and only championship that the Dodgers won while in New York.
And Ralph and
Ed were there.
We're at the game.
We're at the game.
That's pretty wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Went 7. That game, they went 7. It was a great series.
Oh, it did go 7.
Dusty in that hall. Yeah, it went 7. Great World Series. Great World Series. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Very good. Yes.
Always a little piece of sports history here.
And one of the guys, one of our regulars, pals, when we were talking about which episodes.
The episodes up and down.
And Mark is a bit of a smarty pants.
Yeah.
He put his comment on our Facebook was, "It wasn't high on my list, but now Trapped has gone up my list." Thanks to Joe and Louie dissecting every frame of that episode. Hence why we changed the name of the podcast to the Trap Podcast, along with those other pesky 38 episodes.
That meaningless 38.
Yes. Mark, our pal Mark S.
Great, Mark.
Thank you. And anybody else still want to chime in, if you don't remember, we talked about which episodes we might have really, really loved at one point, but now they're not as high in our list, or ones that we weren't really high on, but now they are.
Moved up, yeah.
Send it to us on our Facebook.
Yeah,
we'll read them. We'll read them on here.
We'll read them. Sure.
What we're going to do is start off with, I think let me just get this thing. Here we go. The classic. One of, to me, it's the backbone of this show. And it is
Swanee River.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking
Swanee
the
River.
Johnson
That's
Building
the
at
backbone of the show.
328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louie's Observations.
all right. So, Louie's observation is from one of the best episodes
God,
ever.
yes. Oh, man.
and it's
It's right
Trapped.
under Trapped.
No, of course
It's
not.
right under Trapped.
It's right under Trapped. And it is, of course, funny money.
Money. Oh,
Okay.
my God.
And it's in the very beginning when all the gangsters are in basically the same room that Ralph got stuck in the basement in between the two.
Without the pipes.
Without the pipes.
Big pipes and the
No,
boiler room.
those two pipes.
Those 2 pipes. And
Those 2 pipes.
And the boiler room.
Yes. We'll fix those 2 pipes tomorrow. But we'll play a little bit of it, of
it's a
Boss,
great scene.
because Boss is a great
Oh, it's
character. And but Louis has a great observation. It's more of a physical thing, but
Yeah,
you've all seen it enough.
Enough to
and
know.
if you go back, you'll
Yeah,
go watch it,
yeah.
but you'll
You'll know what it is.
Here we go.
Hello, I'd like to get some information. Supposing somebody leaves something on a bus,
Supposing.
say a suitcase. What has he got to do to get it back?
Supposing.
He's got to come down and identify it. And what? Describe the contents. And then what? You open it, and if the description matches, why you... Look, but suppose nobody claims it, then what happens to it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. Uh-huh. Okay, thanks a lot, sister. Well, boys, we're getting that suitcase back.
But boss, how? We can't let him open it up.
I know that. But if nobody claims it within 30 days, it goes to whoever found it and turned it in. It's usually the bus driver. All we got to do is find out who turned it in, wait 30 days, and then we get it from him.
What if he don't want to give it to us?
Suppose you shut up! He'll give it to us. Or...
We just wanted to play that whole thing because it's just a great scene, obviously.
And Boss is so good.
And Boss is so good, so good.
He shows up in I think in the Lost episodes.
You told me
Yeah,
that.
I think you see him in the Lost episodes.
That's where they came up with the name.
Yes, there's a name assigned to him on
IMDb,
IMDb,
but
it's the name from the Lost.
From the Lost.
'Cause he doesn't have a name here.
They did their diligence.
They did, actually
You know,
did, yeah.
they weren't just fly-by-night fans.
Yeah.
They were like, "Are we going to find this out?" So
Yeah.
they. What
I think
was
it's Barney.
Yes, Barney.
Barney, yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
It's like not a tough. I don't think it's a tough guy
Well,
name.
yeah.
I guess because we think of Barney,
Barney Rubble,
Barney
yeah,
Fife.
Fife, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
That's our image in our head. But Louis' observation.
Okay, here we go.
It's the physical. Because
physical.
you remember, he has to look up the phone number in a phone book.
Okay, so now the whole observation goes with the phone book.
The phone book.
like, number one, why does he have a phone book on his desk? Why is his phone book the size of the entire population of China and India? And he flips right to the middle of the book.
Right.
I guess G's Gotham
I
Bus
guess, right.
is in the middle of the book.
He flips to the middle of the book, then
and
he
he-
takes another quick chunk and
Flips.
flips again.
And then he goes one page.
Right to it.
One page, and he flips.
He goes right to it. And then, of course, he goes into the conversation.
With
Okay, sister.
We don't need that. That's a great line.
Oh, it's such a great line. Okay,
Hey,
sister.
sister.
But it's just great because and the thing is, when he's doing it, he's so frustrated.
Yes.
Which is great acting
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
Kind of, and he's really, really angry and he's frustrated and he grabs the phone and
Boom,
just
boom.
opens it up and then flicks it one more time and then
Just
boom.
There it is.
Gotham.
This is where the G's are.
Yeah. 3 billion people in his phone book. That was not New York Bell, I'll tell you that right now. That wasn't just Bensonhurst.
That wasn't Bensonhurst. Far more. Oh man,
What a great
that was
great
just so. It
observation.
was just funny.
It's just great
just
when you watch
funny.
it because you appreciate. Look, it's such a great scene, and you appreciate
Yeah.
the scene, and he's so good in it.
Yeah.
And he's the centerpiece of it.
Yeah.
You know, he is, and for him to be this angry, he's the boss.
Yeah.
And then for just this wizard to just magically
Right there,
500 pages
He
of
just
War and
had that-
Peace
yeah.
gets right to the page he needs.
He had that feel. He knew just through it. Oh, we mentioned Joe, that guy, the other gangster, with another no-name gangster,
The one who
comes down. Supposing you shut up, that guy.
right when he goes, what if we don't want to give it to us?
Yeah, supposing you shut up. And his name is Jim Bowles. The actor's name is. He had an appearance in The Odd Couple. I was talking to Joe before the show.
Yeah.
It's the scene in the maternity ward of the hospital when Edna's about to be born.
So it's a flashback.
It's a flashback. Yes, right, exactly. It's a flashback episode, and he's the guy who plays like this minister or something. Felix mistakes for a priest.
For a priest, right.
Because he's got the collar on. But
Right,
he's a minister.
And just tell him the line that he
He
said.
says, he goes, and he looks at the priest and he says to him, or the minister, thinking he's a priest, and says, "Flesh is weak." And the priest just like nods back and says, "Yes." So anyway,
But that's cool
Yeah.
that was him.
yeah, that's
and
Jim
you
Bowles.
recognize him
Yes, Jim Bowles. Yep.
from a profile, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
He's-
being
yeah.
in the show for a minute and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
You know, get ready to say it.
It's dusty out in that hall.
God, it's very dusty on that hall. All right, so we want to get into this next segment.
Yeah.
and it's sort of an observation that we're taking to an umpteenth level.
Like we've been known to do.
Yeah, like
63 other times.
Yeah.
Why change now? we would have no show.
Yeah, it's really true. I know. But I'm going to play the clip, and it's from Unconventional Behavior, and it's the very beginning. And it'll explain it once again.
Gee, I wish just once the fellas would take us along on a convention. Oh, not that I care anything about those silly old raccoons, but it'd be nice to go to Minneapolis and get away from here for a while.
Okay, this is my thought.
It's like a Joe officer.
Why Minneapolis? What in God's name is in Minneapolis?
What is the allure of Minneapolis?
I know. Like, wait a minute. Now, look. You're going to have a convention, Atlantic City.
Yes.
Now,
Close.
I understand
Close.
The idea is that they're going to go far, and they're going to go west. But why wouldn't you say Chicago?
Where he went that one time when he was being elected as the convention manager.
Right. You get
and it was, you want to go to Chicago, I get a car.
Right. And we're sitting there like, what? Like Minneapolis, even though the great Bibster sent me a message and said that Minneapolis in 1960 was the 25th biggest city in America.
Okay.
All right. Out of 28?
Yeah, really.
That's
not saying much.
Yeah, exactly. I'm calling them a city. But, so now I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. They went to Minneapolis? Like, and Bibb said something funny. He said, when they throw the water thing out of the window, what is it, freeze on the way down? I mean, there's nothing about Minneapolis that makes you go, we're going to travel. And now they're not flying a plane.
No.
They're not. It's not an hour and a half flight going into Minneapolis. Taking a train.
You imagine how many times this train has to stop.
Oh.
Because I don't think there's as many direct lines from New York, Penn Station, to Minneapolis. It wasn't like really a destination.
Yeah, I don't think
at the
so.
time.
Yeah, I don't.
So they'd
think
have to stop about 100 times.
I know. So I really thought about it, and I said, obviously, they wanted to make it far.
Yeah.
And I believe because they were such great writers and the perfect show, Minneapolis is a great sounding name. Because it flows. It's almost melodic.
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Right.
And it's almost like it's great for humor.
Yeah.
Because it's got that Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It's a long name, and it just has that great sound to it.
Right.
So we thought, what other names of cities, and we're going to go right now national, where we know that they, at least my opinion, is that they use these specific cities for these punchlines because the writers knew it would make the joke better.
Just the sound.
All right.
Just through the sound.
All right. So now I'll do the next one, and we're gonna play a little audio, and this is from Trapped. Oh, sorry.
Well, it's just 5 o'clock. Got time to show you how to play a game or two.
All right, get your cue.
Sorry I can't offer you one of these, but the fellow I worked with down the sewer there, Haggerty, had a blessed event.
Oh, had a baby?
No, his mother-in-law moved back to Schenectady.
Now, Schenectady is a great, it's a great name. And I also knew a guy years ago when I was first doing comedy. He was more of a seasoned veteran, and he had a joke. It was not about Schenectady, but it was a big punchline at the end.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the Honeymooners.
Right.
But I remember, and me and my other friend were like, Schenectady. And that's why I thought it is, because we were like, Schenectady. That is just a funny sounding name.
Yes, it is.
And they were smart enough to use that. Great name.
So it's a little town upstate New York.
Right? Yeah, little town upstate
Actually
New York.
I actually knew a guy from Schenectady.
Did you know a guy from
one of the guys owned a couple of horses with him. He lived in Schenectady. And I remember when I had he used to take care of this stuff, so I had to write him the check.
Okay.
Like when at the end of the month, and I just got to know how to spell Schenectady.
Oh, you
By
do
writing
know
it, I do know how to spell Schenectady. Just from writing it on the envelope every month.
I just wrote it, and I think I wrote secretary.
There you go.
I don't
That's
even think I
close
wrote
enough.
Schenectady.
Schenectady.
It's so not even Not even close. But Schenectady, another great. Now, and of course, it works because it's in upstate New York.
Upstate New York, yeah.
You know, it's not too far.
No, not that far. It's
but
before
it's not
Albany.
but it's not
far from Albany, but it's before Albany.
A little bit before Albany.
Yeah.
But it's not like this well-known name that they're using it because it's well-known. It's
Right.
because
How it sounds.
It sounds.
It's all sound.
It's all sound.
All sound.
So we have another one.
Another one. Yeah, go.
And this one is here we go. This is from the loudspeaker.
Do you realize that when I do become Raccoon of the Year, that we will have the privilege of free burial in the Raccoon National Cemetery? Do you know where it is? Bismarck, North Dakota. That's where it is.
So obviously, it's a great joke.
And everybody knows Bismarck. I mean, that line's been tossed around forever by everybody sometime in their life. You
Absolutely.
said Bismarck, North Dakota.
Bismarck, North Dakota. Because even the first part of the joke is funny. Like you get free burial
in the National Cemetery.
National
Now, remember,
Cemetery.
we don't know how far the raccoons go. It's actually called the International Order of Friendly Raccoons.
Right.
We think.
we think.
So we don't know what the international means.
Right.
Maybe they have a branch in Texas that makes it international. So
but no, if you think about it, of course, it follows in the rule where it's far.
Yeah.
Which makes the joke funnier. But first of all, it's a great joke. And then when he says Bismarck, North Dakota,
he's like,
now just from my my comedy mentor or idol was George Carlin.
Right.
Always. And George Carlin used to talk about language because he was so smart.
Yes.
He was a linguist.
Yes.
He was just great.
God, yeah.
But he used to talk about certain words that work for comedy, whether they have usually he would talk about the hard K, you know, and the hard K. Think about Bismarck. It's a funny sounding name. It's Biz. What name has Z in it? You know what I mean? So it's Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah.
North is a strong sounding thing.
And Ralph makes it. He's really he really embellishes on that.
Annihilates
North.
It. Just North Dakota.
And you got your K again in Dakota. Joe, even in Schenectady, you have a K sound. There's no K in it, but you have the K sound of the CT.
Schenectady.
Schenectady.
And it's just a funny sounding word.
Yeah.
And then you have that
like
little bit
Hobby's
of
a funny
K-
sounding name.
Schenectady's a funny sounding town. But yeah, North.
Oh, it is.
It's just, and I just give it to, and again, we're gushing over the writers, but it's amazing the simplistic way of writing.
Yeah.
But not just simplistic, amazing and deep and strong. Like, it wasn't like this, it wasn't an intellectual written show, but it was smart and simple.
Just using those words.
Yeah, exactly. So, we got a couple more for you.
Yeah, you're probably dying to hear which one they are.
Yeah.
Like, say, okay, guys, you're like 15 minutes in. Can you say something funny?
Now, this one is from A Woman's Work Is Never Done, and this is Alice complaining to Ralph.
That will give you a rough idea, Ralph, of what a joy it is working around this apartment all day. You know why? Because it's so up to date. I am the only girl in town with an atomic kitchen. This place looks like Yucca Flats after the blast.
I mean, that is just such a great joke. And instead of saying Hiroshima or
Nagasaki,
Yucca Flats after the blast. It almost rhymes.
Yeah.
And, of course, the way she delivers it. But Yucca, again, with the K sound.
Yeah.
And just makes the joke that much funnier.
So it was the test site in Nevada.
Right.
It was the nuclear testing site in Nevada, so that everybody knew it. Now, you got to remember, this is years after World War II. The bomb's already been dropped. So
10 years. Only 10 years,
10
right?
Years.
Yeah.
So
they knew.
They knew. But still, everybody still knew Yucca Flats. And it's just like, there's that word again with the Ks.
Yeah.
Yucca.
Yucca Flats. Absolutely.
Got a lot of yucks out of that. Yucca.
And this one.
Unlike this show.
And I have to say, the great Bibbs helped me out with this.
Yeah, he helped Joe.
He helped me out with this a little bit, and the Bibbs is great.
Yes, he is. Brother Bibbs.
Now, this one is from Ralph Cramden Incorporated, and this is Ed and another national city, and this is the joke.
Birds seen, 2 yellow-bellied sapsuckers. Place where seen, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
They gotta leave that laugh.
Certainly lucky to get a man like you to be my vice president, Norton.
We just took him for $20.
Now, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Obviously, they need to do something far out
Yeah,
west.
just something far
out west.
Just far.
Could have said Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
come on. If he said Los Angeles, California, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
But something about Albuquerque. I mean, think about it. They used Albuquerque. It's a funny sounding word. When you really stop and think about it. Like, you don't think about it when you hear it because we've grown up with it in our head.
Yeah.
You know, we've learned Albuquerque. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you break it down, you're like, Albuquerque.
Kirky.
What's a
Yeah,
Kirky?
at the end, yeah.
And then, of course, with the great R. Carney, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yep.
Makes it 10 times even
yeah,
more
sure
funny.
does.
Because in reality, the joke is just the fact that it's from 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But the way he does it and the town that they picked.
Actually, it's 300,000 miles.
300,000 miles away.
Ralph.
Right, of course. It's by the moon, obviously. Right. It's a little bit further away than the moon itself.
Regular Galileo there. He's 300,000 miles away.
Now, the only other ones that I thought about that were like national is the one with and it's really local. So I'll go with local, but Utica. And Utica wasn't really done in a punchline. It just, I think they just wanted, they probably looked at New York State and said, Utica. That sounds funny. Right. And then, of course.
Like I said, if he said Albany, nothing.
No.
And then he probably wouldn't have flubbed Albany either.
Yeah.
So that was, so that gave a, that was like a godsend to us.
Yes.
That they picked Utica.
Yeah, Utica. So thank God for Uncle Leo.
Yeah, really,
flubbing that.
Something good came out of that Utica. Their choice, Utica.
Something came. Imagine that. You talk to people, Utica. You know what came out of Utica? The only good thing was Uncle Leo. So now, the rest of these that we're going to talk about real quick, they're all local.
Local, yeah.
Right. And starting with Bensonhurst.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard that 328 Chauncey Street is not in Bensonhurst. Do you remember what it would
it's actually in
if you say it, I'll remember it.
Oh God.
I know
it's below Crown Heights. Oh my God. It's near Bushwick. You know, Brooklyn's got so many neighborhoods.
Those neighborhoods, right. I can't think of it
right off the top.
But I just know that it doesn't sound as good as Bensonhurst.
No, Bensonhurst sounds great.
Bensonhurst sounds great.
Has the sound.
So right away they were like, no, we're not. It's Bed-Stuy. I think it's Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
Is it Bed-Stuy?
Stuyvesant Heights.
That's it.
Stuyvesant Heights.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Which is kind of jumbled.
That's too much.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they said something like, just think of Ralph living in, I don't know, part of we'll say like Red Hook.
Right.
It just doesn't come across. Now, I know we're used to Bensonhurst.
Right.
But Bensonhurst is just, it just sounds
great. What are we going to have, the Stuyvesant Heights bomber?
Yeah, like, really.
So right away, just in the fact that they didn't use the actual, they went with Bensonhurst because they knew Bensonhurst sounded
good.
Maybe it sounded tougher,
grittier,
but they put a lot of thought into that. So Bensonhurst. Now we go into a joke that Alice did when she says when she was talking about Ralph's different harebrained schemes, and she mentions his uranium field in Asbury Park. The way she says, but now it's local, Jersey.
Yes, Jersey.
But I think they used it because it just sounds funnier.
Funny. And the thing too is you don't. Asbury Park being a Jersey shore town,
right?
Okay, it's just like where's this uranium field coming up in Asbury Park?
Yeah, if she would have said
it's
Seaside Heights,
it
wouldn't have sounded as well.
But
Atlantic City,
but Asbury Park, which was popular in the day, you know, as a vacation retreat. And the thing is, we got to remember that this is filmed in New York,
right?
So they have a local audience. So when you're saying these things, people understand Asbury Park,
right?
Which is why they laugh. Like if they said this like they were in like Indianapolis or something, they said Asbury Park, they'd be like, oh, what the heck's Asbury Park? They don't know.
But they probably still would have laughed because it sounded
funny. But this audience knows what Asbury Park is.
What
and where it is.
The meat of the joke is the fact that why would there be a
uranium field in Asbury Park? They find it under the boardwalk or I don't know.
Yes. So now you mentioned the Weehawken.
90% of people in New Jersey don't know where Weehawken
Don't know where Weehawken is, yeah. Because it's right by Hoboken.
Right by Hoboken.
And Hoboken is so well known.
Yes.
From Frank Sinatra being born there.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that it's this mile square.
Yep.
500,000 people. Because my friend's father used to be a cop there.
Okay.
It's 500,000 people living in a mile square.
Yeah.
And it's so known, Hoboken. I
Hoboken.
mean, Bugs Bunny.
Hoboken. Ooh,
Right.
I'm dying again.
But people do Weehawken. You would never, a lot of people don't know
Weehawken.
It's right next
Right
door.
next door.
It's right there.
Right there.
Hello. Hiya, neighbor. But yeah, and Weehawken is the Weehawken style of mambo. It's funny.
It's funny.
Weehawken.
Weehawken.
And there's that K
Hawken,
again.
the K.
Hawken. And it's that haw. It has that almost like funny kind of.
Yeah, and it helps with the Brooklynese.
Yes.
It just makes it better with Brooklynese. Weehawken.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow,
now, the next one is you mentioned Canarsie. Canarsie. Now, what was the reference in Canarsie again?
His mother was coming all the way from Canarsie to watch them.
For the bowling.
For the bowling tournament.
Right. Yes. Canarsie.
Canarsie.
Funny. Just a funny sounding.
Yeah.
It almost has like a flow to it,
Yeah.
like a bourgeois, like Canarsie.
Canarsie.
But just funny. They used the right words and right towns for all of them. And now, I got two more here, and that you brought up. Astoria. Yeah. Because she mentioned that her mother
moved, from Kosciuszko Street to Astoria. If anybody out there doesn't know, it's Astoria is a section of Queens.
Right.
So, another borough.
Yep.
And Astoria.
Now,
there's a zillion, the Queens, like any other New York neighborhood, they all have their neighborhood names.
Not Bay Ridge.
Bay Ridge is Brooklyn.
Yeah. There's a
Corona.
Yeah. But Astoria.
Astoria. The way she says it.
And you get to hold on to it longer, like Astoria. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just great.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which I didn't even think of, and I know there's more, and if you guys want to send us some more on either email or on Facebook, please, but Erster Bay.
Now, we all know why that exists.
Of course.
It's just to have Ed Norton say Erster Bay instead of oyster.
Exactly.
And there's no way in the world that Ed Norton grew up in Oyster Bay.
There's no way.
There's no way. Yeah. There's no way. But it's just there for the joke, Joe. Just to get him to say Erster Bay.
PS31, Erster Bay. It's perfect. And they knew what they were doing. They were so good. And that's why I still believe they could have definitely done a second season. I think even if they were running out of, they could have brought more guys.
Oh, they could have done it. They could have even taken some lost episodes and tweaked, which they did.
Right.
And just tweak them, pull them out to a half hour with the new set, the new set, the new, you know.
And with that cast, come on.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, three titans of comedy and acting.
Yep.
Forget about just comedy. Audrey Meadows and our Carney were such phenomenal actors, and so was Gleason obviously.
Yeah.
But they could have done another season, and we would have had twice as much. We'd be doing twice as many podcasts.
Joe, I wrote to somebody, believe it or not, I did on Facebook. I think it was
did you write on a piece of paper?
Yeah,
and
I did.
Just put it on your.
I put it tied it to a pigeon and sent them out. I think it was Norm.
Okay.
And we were talking about what you call. We were just talking about the Erster Bay thing,
right?
And all stuff like that. And I said that to Norm, and I actually lost my train of thought here because you interrupted. Don't ever interrupt me with technical stuff. When I said Facebook, I got
yes, you were saying you sent Norm a message on Facebook,
and that was it. Now I lost my
totally. I thought I saw you guys.
We were commenting on something. Yeah, now I can't remember what it was.
You can't remember.
I can't
Well,
remember
we're already
anyway.
at 34 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
All right, that's good. We don't need it. We'll save this for 65.
yeah. So now, we wanted Louis had a brain freeze. He has no idea what he was just saying. Oh, that's funny. Well, let's get to one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Let me get this right.
Yes, and of course.
Now, Tom, who is our first guest, please? Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our
Courier from Parsippany, New Jersey, Joe Conti.
All right.
I hope you miss it.
Oh, my goodness. That's so funny.
Okay, Joe, you ready?
Yes.
All right. The $99,000 answer. That's it.
Oh, you're doing the $99,000?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
What'd you think? We're going to play the
I thought you were just mentioning the fact that, okay. Oh, my goodness.
We're really good today.
Holy cow.
It's too high.
Okay, we have Herb Norris.
Yep.
Herb. That's an easy one. The girl that brings him out.
Got her. Stage girl.
And I think it was the same one both episodes. I mean, when the first time and the second time.
Yeah, same girl.
Right?
Brings him out both times.
Right,
Yeah.
both times.
Yeah. He wasn't paying somebody else.
Right. Jealous McGarity.
Yep.
Jealous McGarity. Manicotti and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Did I get all of them?
Yeah.
It was Herb Norris. Jealous McGarity.
Jealous McGarity. Yep. Jealous. This is his first name. Mr. J. Garrity. Sorry, what's the J stand for? Jealous.
Jealous McGarity.
On his birth certificate.
And then the
Jealous
stage
Michael
girl.
Garrity. And stage girl. Michael Garrity.
Oh, you know what, dude? I just noticed. We can kind of finish with this. We have a brand new comment, a new review on our what do you call it? The iTunes.
Well, you're talking about that. I can remember when me and Norm were talking.
This episode's over. I don't even know why we're still talking. So this is from Brockwurst. And he calls it hilarious.
Okay.
5 stars.
And after this episode.
Oh, no. He's going to be like,
thank God he wrote them for this one.
I'm only up to episode 41, but I'm burning through them. Glad to know that there are other people out there that are as nuts as I am about the show. Keep it up, fellas. Brockwurst, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Brockwurst.
That's very, very nice of you. And so let's see.
I got to say it the right way, Joe. Brockwurst.
Brockwurst. Well, now, who can we thank? First of all, we have to thank Silk City Hot Sauce, our one and only sponsor. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com. Get yourself some great homemade, it can't hurt you, pal, homemade hot sauce, and then put RX in the coupon code when you're checking out and get yourself 15% off your order and a free bottle of cherry sriracha.
Yeah.
And, of course, everyone who listens in, all of you guys who email us, comment on Facebook, and some of you special pals like Bibbs, who helps me out a lot. You know who you are. Who else can we thank? The Facebook group, the great Facebook group, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge, with Joy and Brother Norton. And also my other show, which looks like we're about a week away from coming back, the Conti and Kenny Show, every Monday night. Don't forget, if you want to check out my 1-hour comedy DVD or CD called Happiness, you can download it anywhere you get your music or comedy. If you want to support me, you can buy it. If not, you can go anywhere and just check it out for free. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's yesterday, a blessed event yesterday.
What'd you have?
Our horse won yesterday.
Oh.
Stakes race at Parks Casino.
Really?
In Philly, yeah.
In Philly?
Yeah.
How much did he pay?
$17.60.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was like an 8 to 1?
7-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's right up my alley.
And his name is, wait for it. That's his name. Wait for it.
Is it wait for it? I was like, wow, is it a Honeymooners reference?
Yeah, like
wait for it.
No, that's it.
Wait for it. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
So we're all happy.
Congratulations,
Yeah, stakes
Lou.
race, $100,000 stakes
Beautiful.
race.
Speaking of steaks, I'm kind of hungry,
Hungry
so
right
let's
now.
go get some dinner. All right, everybody.
Well,
Thank
boy,
you
this
so
boy
much.
used to make Fu Young.
Number 64 in the books. Thank you very
Thank
much.
God.
Thank God. Oh, this book needs to be closed about 10 minutes ago. But thank you, everybody, for giving us a listen. And we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.